Some people check their bank balance several times a day. Others can go for days without opening the app. They avoid looking because they already know what they might see. Checking the number would make the situation real. It might mean canceling a plan, admitting they have overspent, or making a decision they have postponed. So they wait. Not because money is unimportant, but because it feels too important. We assume better financial decisions begin with better information. But information only helps when we are willing to face it. A bank balance is just a number, yet it can create relief, embarrassment, guilt, confidence, or fear within seconds. The number has not judged us. We have judged ourselves through it. That is why two people can see the same amount and experience it differently. One sees a limit. Another sees a plan. One feels trapped. Another begins calculating their options. The difference is not always how much money they have. It is what that money means to them. We like to think financial behavior is logical. Real life is rarely that clean. We avoid looking at debt because the total feels uncomfortable. We buy things we did not plan because the purchase briefly changes our mood. We promise to become more disciplined next month while repeating the same habits today. Money does not simply move through our accounts. It moves through our emotions, habits, fears, and expectations. That is why some financial problems are not really about calculators. They are about behavior. For example, many people do not really know where their money went by the end of the month. They have not made one major purchase. Yet the money is gone. The reason is usually not one bad decision. It is dozens of small decisions made throughout the day without much thought. A coffee, a quick meal, an unused subscription, something bought simply because it was on sale, an order placed while feeling low. None of these changes a life on its own. But when repeated, they create an invisible system. Because people do not notice that system, they do not see themselves as unplanned. They simply say, "There were a lot of expenses this month too." In reality, there may not have been any unusual expenses. The habits were simply working in silence. The point is not to treat every purchase like a crime. People want to enjoy life while earning money. The problem is telling whether a purchase is something we genuinely want or an attempt to change how we feel. Sometimes we spend because we are tired. Sometimes because we feel left behind. Sometimes because we believe we worked hard and deserve a reward. At that moment, money is not just money. We are trying to buy relief, approval, or a sense of control. But that relief does not last. The thing we bought becomes ordinary, while the payment remains. Then we become angry with ourselves, try to cut spending completely for a while, and a few weeks later, that pressure ends in another round of uncontrolled spending. This cycle is not always caused by a lack of willpower. It is that extremely strict rules are difficult to sustain. Healthy money management is not built by constantly denying yourself. It is built by deciding in advance what different parts of your money are meant to do. One part is for essential needs. One part is for enjoyment. One part waits for unexpected situations. Another part goes toward things that may not be visible when spent today, but can create options in the future. The amount does not have to be large at first, because in the first stage, what changes is not your wealth. It is your sense of direction. When someone deliberately sets aside even a small part of their money, they send themselves a message. Everything that comes into my hands does not have to be consumed by my life today. It is a small thought, but an important one. Because long-term financial behavior is usually formed not by major decisions, but by small distinctions repeated over time. The same is true for income. Most people connect their earnings only to the hours they work. They work for an hour and receive money in return. This system is stable and necessary for many professions. The problem is not earning a salary. The problem is when your entire income depends only on your ability to work that day. Because time has limits. The day does not get longer. Your body's energy is not endless. When the only way to earn more is to work more hours, your income may rise while your life becomes smaller. That is why some people work extremely hard, yet still feel stuck. Their earnings may increase, but their free time decreases. When a problem occurs, their income stops. Even taking a holiday begins to feel like a financial loss. The solution is not to tell everyone to quit their job. Entrepreneurship may not suit everyone. And a regular income provides important security for many people. A more realistic question is this: do I measure the value of my work only by the time I spend doing it? Can a teacher earn money only for the hours they teach, or can educational material they create be used again and again? Can a musician earn income only when performing on stage, or can recordings, compositions, and licenses continue creating value over time? Does an expert have to work only one-on-one, or can they build a system that delivers their knowledge to more people? The answer differs for everyone. But all of these questions share one idea: build something that produces results in addition to selling your time. Sometimes money works for you. Sometimes a system you created does. Sometimes a piece of work you produced earlier continues to create value. None of these may be completely passive. They require effort, knowledge, and patience at the beginning. But eventually, the connection between income and the hours you worked that day becomes weaker. That is where financial breathing room begins to form. But building something like this is not only a matter of knowledge. Because when people see a new possibility, they do not immediately take action. They first think about the risks. What if I fail? What if I lose money? What if people do not take what I am doing seriously? These questions are normal. The real problem is expecting complete certainty before acting, even though some answers can never be fully known. Uncertainty never disappears entirely. It only becomes manageable. That is what calculated risk means. It does not mean ignoring the possibility of loss. It means limiting how much you can lose, running small experiments, and observing the result. Instead of immediately quitting your job, you might test a small project in the evenings. Instead of making a large investment, you might first try to understand it. Instead of preparing for months and waiting for the perfect beginning, you might take a low-cost first step. This way, failure stops feeling like a threat to your identity. It becomes information. Because people who improve financially are not people who always make the right decisions. They are people who do not allow their wrong decisions to remove them from the game completely. That matters. When people talk about wealth, success is often explained through courage, discipline, or positive thinking. But in real life, circumstances matter too. Family support, health, education, the country you live in, the economic period, and luck can all have a serious effect on the options available to you. Not everyone starts from the same line. Accepting this does not mean rejecting personal responsibility. On the contrary, it helps us separate what we cannot control from what we can. You may not be able to change the economy on your own, but you can choose whether to avoid looking at the true amount of your debt. You may not be able to increase your income immediately, but you can set aside regular time to develop a new skill. You may have made poor decisions in the past, but your next decision does not have to be automatic. Sometimes what keeps a person stuck is not the size of the problems, but trying to solve all of them at once. Expecting a complete financial transformation is exhausting too. The thought, "I need to put my entire life in order," makes the first step heavier. In reality, change can begin much smaller. Simply track your spending for 1 week. Cancel one subscription you do not use. Set aside a small amount when income arrives. Do not put money into a financial product you do not understand just because everyone is talking about it. Think about how your work could create value beyond the hours you spend doing it. None of these looks impressive. They are not dramatic success stories to share on social media. But the things that change a person's relationship with money are often exactly these kinds of actions. Because financial progress is not about suddenly becoming a different person one day. It is about building different systems while remaining the same person. It is about creating a structure that makes the right behavior easier, without waiting to feel disciplined, brave, or successful. After a while, another unexpected expense will come up. Life will disrupt the plan again. The difference is that this time, the problem does not control your entire life. You may still feel frustrated. You may still have to postpone certain plans. But panic is no longer your only option. Because real financial strength is not about never having problems. It is about having options when problems appear. And those options often arrive before great wealth does. They begin with noticing where your money goes, leaving a small amount of space, thinking about new ways to earn, and taking measured action despite fear. Money does not tell you who you should be. It simply expands the system you have built. That is why the first thing that changes your future may not be more money entering your account. It may be that you no longer behave automatically with the money you already have.